Hey guys, Blue Jays Domain here, and enough time has passed since the playoffs ended, and I thought that I could go over how the new format's working. There's a lot of controversy around it. Before this year, a lot of people just complained because most of the division winners were just losing. Boo-hoo, you know? So I just wanted to go over this new format, see if it's like the format that sucks, or is it just your team that sucks and can't win in the playoffs. Before I go any further, though, be sure to subscribe. I wanted to hit 500 before the end of the year, but I think 450 is more realistic. So let's hit 450, please. Yeah, thanks. Now back to the video. Okay, so to go over this, we need to compare the old format to the new format. Obviously, it's not fair. The old one had 10 years. This one's only got 3. So, I mean, maybe come back to this in 7 years and revisit it. But let's just humor me for a minute or so. I want to go over this. So, the wildcard game was introduced in 2012, and that's when the playoffs expanded from 8 teams to 10 teams, introducing since the wildcard game, blah, 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 blah. Now, the big complaint between the two is the time off from the end of the season, so game 162, to the start of the division series between the division winners and the wildcard. And there is an argument there. The old format, the LDS, between the division winner and the wildcard winner would start on average 3 to 4 days after the season ended. It just kind of depended on the year because the American League and the National League would flip-flop. In the new format, that's been extended to 6 days. So it's double is essentially what it is. In the old format, 3 wildcard teams made the World Series in total. That's in 10 years. 2 of them won the World Series. That would be the Giants and the Nationals, and the Kansas City Royals were the lone loser. Since the new format was introduced, 9 times a wildcard team would move on and defeat the division winner, which also resulted in 9 league championship appearances, obviously, blah, 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 blah. For reference, the wildcard team has made the World Series 3 times since this format, which was introduced in 2022. Only 1 time was that one. That was the Rangers last year. The other 2 who made it were the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks lost to the Rangers. Phillies lost to the Astros. 8 times, the wildcard teams who win go out to knock off the division winner. This does include that 6 seed upsetting the 3 seed if you don't want to count that. The number is 6. It's still pretty high. Also of note, 7 of the 8 upsets, or 5 of the 6, depending on what side you're sitting on, happen in the National League. Only one AL team has moved on. AL wildcard team has moved on to win the ALDS, and that was the Rangers. Again, World Series champions. Duh. So the upset problem isn't really a thing on the American League side, but why is it so profound on the National League side? And to me, I think the obvious answer is just that the competition on the National League is so much closer. The teams are so much closer and evenly balanced than it is on the American League. As a fan on the American League, I find we're a very top-heavy league. You know, each year you kind of have 1 or 2 teams that lead the way, and then maybe a couple that sit in the middle, and then a couple that fight in that probably shouldn't be there. In 2024, it was just the Yankees. That was the top team. In 23, it was the Rangers, the Astros, and the Orioles. In 22, it was Houston and New York. But going to the National League side, you know, the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Phillies, and the Mets kind of all had legitimate shots at winning the World Series there. In 23, it was the Dodgers again, the Phillies again, the Braves. Despite the Diamondback witchcraft here, I don't really include them in that conversation. And then in 2022, the Dodgers were there, the Braves and the Padres were really profound teams that could have made a run. The Phillies weren't in that category until they upset Atlanta, and then everyone's kind of like, whoa, what's going on? So, like, they're there. They're in there more than the 2023 Diamondbacks. Despite the NL having larger win differentials, though, between the number 1 seed and the number 6 seed, the 4 teams that compete are usually built for October a lot better than the American League side. In the end, though, it doesn't really matter what you do in the regular season because it's just different baseball in the playoffs. Sure, maybe the wild card game does help you get that rust off, but there should be better preparations in that time off. I think the new format helps. It finds the better team in the wild card series, which was a huge complaint with the old format, and it causes more upsets because the better team moves on. The playoffs are just so boring when the best team wins every time. Why do you think no one watches the NBA playoffs? The best team wins every time. It sucks. So to conclude this, it's not the format that sucks. It's not even your team that sucks. The format works exactly how it should. The only area that sucks is your team's preparation in that week off, especially in the National League. Something in the American League, they just have it down pat. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Again, it might be that competition level difference. But yeah, sometimes the better team just wins. And that's whatever. And then sometimes you get the Diamondbacks beating the 100-win Dodgers. And that's baseball. That's the playoffs. Upsets happen. But I think the new format works fine. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, please leave a like and, subscribe. You guys are brand new to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out. Goodbye.